Hi everyone, it's Mackenzie, and today I wanted to do the birth story tag that the channel Mommy Brain made just very recently, and I wanted to share my birth story tag. I have 3 children, so I just did this one for my most recent experience, which was Nehemiah, my 3rd child, and he is 11 months old now, so it's been a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and do it, and I will probably in the next month or 2 go back and do the birth story tag for my first 2 children as well, because this is a very, very cool tag. I love it. So anyways, let me go ahead and get started. The first question is, what was your due date? My due date was September 15th, 2014. Question number 2 is, what date did you actually give birth? And it was September 14th, 2014, so 1 day before my due date. Question number 3 says, leading up to birth, how did you prepare? Leading up to birth, I was just really trying to make sure my house was clean and everything was ready, make sure I had people in line to help out with my bigger kids. I did a lot of hands and knees positions, trying to get him to turn, because the last couple weeks he had turned posterior. And otherwise, I didn't take any classes or do anything like that with my 3rd baby, but I did just talk to my doula and midwife a lot about, you know, what to expect and what to do. Question number 4, did I have any signs that I would go into labor soon? Yes, I did. For about 2 days before I went into actual labor, I had contractions off and on both days. Both times I thought I was going to go into labor and I didn't. They were not like a true undeniable contraction, but I was definitely having contractions both days, off and on, anywhere ranging from 10 minutes apart to, you know, an hour apart, and then here and there I'd have them like 3 minutes apart for a very short period and then it'd stop. So yeah, so I definitely had that. And then the night before, late at night, I did lose my mucus plug too, so that was a pretty good sign for me based on my prior experiences. Question number 5. Rate your pre-birth nervousness from 1 to 10, 1 being not nervous at all and 10 being petrified. And I would say it was probably about a 4. I wasn't super nervous because it was my 3rd child and I knew that I would get through it and I would be okay. But there was the element of doing it in a different way this time that did give me a little bit of nervousness. Question number 6, what were you doing when you went into labor? I was sleeping. I got woken up with a very, very hard contraction. Question 7, describe what a contraction feels like. For me, it feels like a very, very hard tightening, and like there's just a ball, a rock hard ball in you, and your stomach is trying to squeeze it as hard as it can, and it kind of feels like you're on fire, literally. Very, very painful. Question number 8, did you deliver at a hospital, birth center, or at home? With this delivery, I did have a home birth. Question 9, did you have a midwife, a doctor, or did you do it unassisted? And we did have a midwife at our home birth this time. Question number 10, who were your other supporters? I had my doula, my husband, and I had my sister-in-law here helping with our children, and then my midwife brought another midwife with her, so there was that, and then I also had a birth photographer. Question 11, what were you glad you had during birth? Definitely, hands down, birth tub. No joke, that was the lifesaver for me, was being able to be in the water. Question number 12, pain management. Did you have, you know, epidural, nitrous oxide, etc.? With this birth, I did do unmedicated births, so probably my best pain management was the birth tub itself. Being in the water was very helpful. Also counter pressure and massage. My midwife helped me a lot. I had back labor that time, so she would push as hard as she could while I was contracting, and it felt so good to have that counter pressure. Question 13, what position were you in the most Hands and knees for sure. That was the most comfortable for me. Question 14. Did you experience the ring of fire? Yes, I did. And let me just say one word. Ouch. Question 15. First thought when you saw your baby. Well, we did not find out the gender prior, and I was convinced that I was having a girl. So my first thought when I pulled him up from under me and I saw his business right there was, oh my goodness, it's a boy. That is insane. Question number 16. What was your baby's length and weight? Nehemiah was 21.5 inches long and 9 pounds 9 ounces. Question number 17. From first true contraction to delivery, how long was your labor? For this one, it was 16 hours from when I got woken up with that hard contraction till I was holding him. Alright, sorry, my camera died. Question number 18 is, what was the most challenging, labor, pushing, or recovery? And I will say in this, my third experience, it was definitely labor. I had a very long labor, a hard labor, and it was back labor, and not much relief, and I stalled for a long time at like a 9 or 10 centimeters before I decided to push. So labor was definitely the hardest. Once I got to pushing, it was such a relief to be able to do something about it, and it went pretty quick. So that wasn't really that difficult, and recovery honestly was the easiest, the best recovery I've ever had, and it was really just painless and short and sweet and awesome, seriously. So labor would definitely be the most challenging for me. And 19 says, what is one piece of birth advice you would give to a mom-to-be? And mine would be that you are strong and you can do this. You need to be your own advocate. Decide what you want and don't let anyone else bully you into anything else. If you want to go natural and you want to do this and you don't want people interfering with your birth, don't let them. Simple as that. There's very, very rarely where they have to do something. Usually it's because they want to on their own schedule. So yeah, my biggest advice is to get support and be your own advocate. Show the first picture of you as a new mom. Well, I'm not going to show that. I'll do that later. But I will show my first picture after I had Nehemiah, which was the birth story I was telling you about. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will make the other 2 birth story tags very soon. Make sure you check out the original video. I will link it down below, and I tag any moms that want to do this. And thank you for watching, and see you in our next video. Bye.